So it's a real pleasure for me to hand over to Dave Howden, Head of Cloud at Umbrellar, who's going to take us through our BI, AI, and clinical intelligence example, utilizing cloud as the enabler.
Cool. Great. Thank you, Lloyd. So I'm not part of Proclaimers either. However, I've been told many times that I do it like Ed Sheeran. So I'm not going to be playing the guitar or anything. I'll let you guys decide, but that's not relevant to today's conversation. Okay, so Dave Howden, Head of Cloud at Umbrellar. We've been working in partnership with the guys at Mercy now since probably December, January time 2017. And the business at the time, it's fair to say, represented quite a lot of you guys in the room, some of which have made the step into a digital transformation journey and adopting cloud technology, and some of you which are running infrastructure yourselves. But I think it's really important just to set a bit of context before we go into the really meaty stuff of what Lloyd was talking about, which is actually showing some meat on the bones and some rubber hitting the road of actually how we work together and some of the actual intelligence that we brought to the table. So a little bit of a history lesson. Pretty much all of you in the room, I imagine, are actually looking to achieve outcomes, insights, better patient care, better additions to your mission statements by leveraging applications and technology to do so. That has absolutely nothing to do with data centers, nothing to do with where you are today for a lot of you, which is on-premise infrastructure. And the value is delivered at the application level. Clinicians interacting with technology to drive outcomes. And the question that I've had across the whole of the industry, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in agri-tech, or whether it's in any other industry, is what is the value of everything down the stack? And does the IP and the skill sets that you hold inside your business add any value to your mission statement if you're working with anything other than the application to drive insights, outcomes that actually add to your mission statement? And arguably, pretty much you guys managing everything from cooling, data center fabric, networking, anything up to the application level is really very little value in my eyes. And then obviously you can then transition into other extensible cloud services, and this is where kind of cloud kind of began. And we kind of demystify the word cloud and say, okay, well actually all of the run state stuff, storage, servers, networking, compute, the actual low value infrastructure, we'll move that and we'll have that managed by somebody else, and we'll manage the runtime, the data, the application stack ourselves. And that's where actually a good percentage of the industry is starting to move to, infrastructure as a service. And then we can continue that evolution and abstract the data layer up again and the application layer and move the runtime and the middleware, the operating system management as well. And then we start to see real perceived value of actually consuming outcomes, consuming insights, and actually losing the savings that's allowed you to drive better patient outcomes. And the nirvana, software as a service, has its benefits, has its drawbacks, highly uncustomizable, but ready to go instantly. And what we're going to show you today is a blend of platform services and software as a service that we've spun up in 3 weeks using a whole chunk of data, anonymized data from Mercy Radiology over the past 15 years to drive some significant insights. And this is from an organization that is yet to be fully cloud first. I think that's fair to say. The aspiration is absolutely great, but there is a transformation occurring. And it's great to see that we can actually do this now, today, without having gone through that transformation. We're going to go exactly what that means. Okay, so the fabric that's made up the technical capability of Mercy is made up from these 4 components. And by appointing Umbrellar as the cloud services provider for Mercy Radiology and Mercy Hospitals, the foundation has been laid with our professional services team bringing IP to the table to allow rapid deployment and allow the knowledge of the Microsoft Cloud to exist inside the organization. And then a set of services that allow workloads to be deployed in-country on the Microsoft Azure stack that's operated by us in-country, and then leveraging all of the platform services that exist across Microsoft's Azure. And that gives you access to all of the major buzzwords that you will have heard and loved. Machine learning, AI, cognitive services, platform services, data lakes, all of these things that may have a context in your business, but those words actually, as tools in the back pocket to do a job, actually don't deliver the value. It's actually making sure they interact with your business processes and building the value on top. Once again, to go back to the original point, the value is in the application that drives the outcome, not with the technology that drives it. But these technology foundations are now in place, allowing us to rapidly move and rapidly deploy. So like any outcome, it's driven from a few different areas, and we kind of see these 3 foundational points that we think make to produce fantastic outcomes. A business need, technology foundation, and the data to move forward, and access to the data to make sense and deliver insights. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about data, and I can't remember who the name of the gentleman I was speaking to, but a lot of people were coming to him and saying, I want to drive business intelligence, I want to drive insights. And the question was coming back was, well, show me your data. And the response has been, well, actually, I'm not collecting any data. Well, if I'm not collecting any data, how can you leverage insights from it? So if you, just as a kind of as a tip, if you want to leverage insights from data, start collecting, whether it's anything, whether it's foot traffic, it's anything coming in, because you never know when you're going to need it. You're never going to leverage it. And what we're going to show today is actually leveraging data, not just from the collected data from Mercy, but census data, population density, wealth, bringing a whole thing in and looking at how it affects and makes decisions within inside of the organization. So the technology foundation is in play. The data and science is there because Lloyd and his team have been collecting it for the last 15 years from their systems. And the business need is there. I need to know more to run a better patient outcome for my business. That's exactly what we're doing today, and we're going to show. Okay, so Lloyd put the challenge. This was what it was. You have 3 weeks, Dave, until HiNZ, and we want to show AI-driven business intelligence within health. Please make it so. And we've made it so. So up until literally a couple of days ago, we were still building this, but we've done it, and it's going to be live. Now, me showing you it within the next 4 minutes is not going to do it justice, and we're fully demonstrating this live in production out on stand 32 and 33, out on the large Microsoft stand at the front. So we're going to go through it very, very quickly, but for a deeper insight, definitely come and see us. So I'm going to skip through these because we're running out of time, and here it is in action. Can you make sure that plays?
This is what they've gone through,
Yep.
and this is where they've gone to. A great feature of Power BI is you can click on almost any element and filter all the others. That's where people are coming from to go here, for example. On the bottom left, we actually have a comparison map showing the demography of the New Zealand census and what patients are coming to Mercy clinics. Green means a large proportion of those people visit Mercy clinics. Red means very few do. We can slice by demographic. For example, we can limit to older people, or we can examine younger people and where they go. And every screen element will filter itself to reflect this choice of data, and performance is pretty quick. We can add additional slices here, like cutting by modality, to allow a really nuanced view of who comes to clinics and when and why. Another great feature of Power BI is you can sync it up with any data. For example, we use our own forecasting methodology to predict the revenues and traffic through Mercy clinics. This is of business significance, but also of clinical significance. It allows Mercy to plan for what scans will be needed and when. For example, this shows a 2-year forecast, which is the shaded area, and it's about 95% accurate thanks to some of the smarts that we've brought into to the dashboard. For example, if we filter by or slice by ultrasound, we can see that about 20 scans is most of the ultrasounds done by Mercy. So they can make sure that they have enough skilled technicians available to meet these demands. And
guys, that absolutely we can't show the whole of this platform within 90 seconds, and the idea was to give you a snippet of 2 major insights that we've managed to derive just in that one section of data. So let me give you the context. 15 years worth of clinical data brought in from Mercy Radiology, mapped with census information across New Zealand and wealth demographic data, and then a whole set of data produced and insights produced that map what was pre-existingly purely in spreadsheets and in a database. So the ability to visualize actually what is just hidden insights and hidden data on where your referrers are, what referrers are doing well and improving, who's retired and who's dropping off. But as importantly, what's the big level decisions that I need to make as a business, and then referring that and checking that the actual data is saying what's going on inside of my mind. Where do I want to put my next MRI machine? Where do I want to open my next clinic? Why are referrers traveling far too much distance when there's a clinic closer? What's happening with my referral platform that's not allowing these people to get a better travel distance and speed? These questions just appear and pop through, and previously never even asked questions are now being answered. You'll see that that's just one, we're sort of seeing that was just one tab out of 8 that's driving a whole series of insights across forecasting, demographics, and a whole series of things. So I can't do it justice in this time. But I ask you, if you're really interested in looking at a production example of business intelligence within inside of health, come and visit us, and the team will more than happily go through it with you. So we looked at forecasting, we looked at choropleths, which are heat-rendered maps that allow you to look at where your hotspots are within inside of your geographies. And bringing it all together is that technology foundation, built on the top of the Microsoft Cloud, on top of Microsoft Azure, leveraging Power BI to bring it all together, with a middleware that's driving smart intelligence and AI to actually do predictive forecasting to allow you to predict revenue and churn, and a whole lot of insights that are going to come forward. So to wrap it up, this doesn't happen by accident. And a lot of you may be looking for aspirationally of how do we achieve these certain things and what are the blockers, but we believe there are 4 things that make this thing happen, and these things happen. To reiterate, Mercy is not in the cloud yet. They have massive aspirations to get there. The EMR PaaS will be the first hosted EMR PaaS in the world, I believe, and they have positioned Microsoft and Umbrellar as their cloud provider going forward. But we've managed to do this as a cloud-native application within 3 weeks, and they've not had to go through that transformation journey to get there. And the foundation that's got them there is the ability to have that capability in their tool bag. So when the opportunity comes up, when the idea is sparked, when the business need arises, that we can rapidly deploy as a team, try quick, fail fast, with a known security context and a known trusted team that can actually deliver. But it does require the top 3 things to work. We need the creativity, we need the ingenuity, and we need the ability and the freedom as a collective trust network and a team to go and execute. Very large procurement processes to go through small outcomes and processes will stifle the digital transformation of healthcare, and having that foundation is allowing us to get there today. So I think I'm probably just about to run over, so I'll wrap up very quickly. We're demonstrating the whole of this thing live for the next 2 days in collaboration with ourselves, Akiso, they're our partner that helped us build this platform, and Mercy Radiology on the Microsoft stand just outside the front here. So if you're interested, please come and see us. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll say thank you on behalf of Lloyd as well. I hope you enjoy the next couple of your days. Thank you.